Alright, so today I'm going for a bike ride, hour spin, doing a little bit of endurance. I get a lot of questions regarding endurance for BMX, and perhaps this video will enlighten a few of you that may have some ambitions of doing some aerobic work on the road or on a stationary bike. Let's talk about it. So one of the main things I like about road riding is just getting a different scenery, getting a different visual from the day-to-day monotony of doing repetitive work on the track, in the gym, or doing your BMX sprints. Mentally, it's absolutely refreshing to get on the road. Specifically, road riding doesn't necessarily improve your BMX performance in terms of specific power. BMX performance is mainly an anaerobic, demanding sport, and endurance road cycling is aerobic. So aerobically, it works on the slow twitch fibers, as opposed to anaerobically, the fast twitch fibers. And when it comes down to BMX training, you always need to ask yourself, for what purpose? Why are you going to be doing road riding? Is it for aerobic endurance? Is it to improve your track speed? Because there's far better protocols to improve your track speed other than working specifically on your slow twitch fibers on the road. Now, if you're a racer who races all year round and looks to peak a couple times a year, and they're used to racing a lot, putting in a lot of volume, such as some of the elites that are on the World Cup circuit, then endurance riding makes sense. Endurance riding will help an athlete recover from effort to effort, from session to session, day to day. And of course, this is all really subjective, so there's no real hard studies that prove that road riding actually improves any endurance or speed endurance components on the BMX track. So be wary of that. Make sure you ask yourself, for what purpose do I want to do endurance road riding for? For what purpose do I want to work on my slow twitch fibers for?
How's it going?
Hey. Now, let's talk about some parameters for some of you athletes out there. Now, for you older guys that are out there, 30 and over, I really think 1 hour a week would be super beneficial in terms of keeping your overall conditioning up. It's all about an all-around, fine-tuned engine. You want everything hitting on full cylinders. You don't want to have any imbalances. One thing I've noticed, the older we get, the more balance that we need, because there's so many imbalances due to specificity, training so specific. For the more seasoned pro, a lot of my athletes will put in a block specific, going deep into the aerobic engine, and then as the season approaches, we'll do a little bit of maintenance. It depends on where they're at, what they need. At the highest level, we really focus on strength and power, because at the end of the day, that's what BMX is all about. It doesn't matter if you have all this endurance if you can't explode out of the gate, and that's BMX. However, if your talent is good, your skills are good, your strength and power is phenomenal, then you could for sure integrate a maintenance plan of aerobic endurance riding spaced out throughout your race season. As for the younger kids, I really feel that building up their skills specifically for the BMX track, working on their gates, working on their race strategy, working on their mental strategy, training specifically in terms of doing full track work, in terms of introducing the body to strength and power, you're going to reach more benefits working on the specificity of the sport as opposed to doing things that are non-specific. Now, as far as intensity and volume, it's really simple. You really want to focus on zone 2. Now, the key is to stay above that floor of what that bottom number is, and don't go above the top number. You want to stay in that zone and keep it consistent, keep the cadence high. You're going to want that cadence to be at least 100 RPM, if not more. Now, that would be a good start if you want to start improving your endurance specifically. Some riders may go anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. I recently rode with the Dutch team and they wanted to do a 2-hour road ride. They seem to be doing those during their builds at least once a week for maintenance. So if you do endurance road riding, make sure you keep it specific. Focus on zone 2. Don't go zone 1. Zone 1 is going to be recovery. If you do recovery, you could do anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Very, very easy. Zone 2 is where you're going to get your bread and butter in terms of improving the endurance specifically. Now, remember we talked about being specific to our sport. Those are ellipticycles, which is good for ellipticals. That's about specific as you can get. If you're training for the elliptical world championships, then I would train on that. Another tip you want to keep in mind is choosing which day you want to do your endurance ride. If you're going into the week fresh, feeling really recovered and ready to go, make sure you keep that specific in terms of power and BMX skills. You don't want to use that energy for an endurance road ride. Ideally, you want to do your endurance road ride when you're tired, so a day after strength training or a day after BMX training, specifically intervals. Another thing I want to talk about is choosing terrain. Now, if it's the winter time and you got nothing to do, going uphill is totally cool. But if you're in season and you need a quick maintenance ride, keep it on flat ground and also keep the cadence high, keep it steady. If you ride a stationary bike, you can even control the resistance even a little bit more and also pay attention to the cadence a lot easier. So those are my tips when it comes to endurance training on the road bike, specifically for BMX. Again, it's a valuable tool to improve your recovery, specifically from workout to workout, effort to effort, workout to workout, day to day. Hey, so if you guys have any questions in regards to endurance specifically for BMX, make sure you leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for joining, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe, I appreciate support. I'll see you guys at the races. I'm out.